What's going on, y'all? Ground Motivate back in this thing again, man, with another video. And the retard that you see on your screen today is the 36-year-old loser beta male that opened fire on two women at Subway who worked there because they put too much mayonnaise on his sandwich. Wow, what an idiot. People like this shouldn't be on the street, in my opinion. One of the ladies didn't make it. Another lady is in stable condition. They said she's talking and whatnot. 1-2 Gossip also did a story on this, so I'll link his video down in the description below if you want to check his take out. Of course, we're going to dive into the story and see what the background of this guy is. Who is he all? What caused him to do this? Everything like that. I'm going to also give 5 reasons why maybe you might not want to move to Atlanta. If you're from Atlanta, let me know if you think these are valid reasons. Let me know if I missed anything. Also, I'm going to tag CP the artist down below because he is living in Atlanta right now. He's a veteran at this point. I think he said he's been staying here about 10 years. But yeah, man, we're going to go ahead and do that. And eventually I will do a more positive video on why maybe you do want to move to Atlanta. But right now, we're going to dive into the story. Let's go.
We have new details about the man charged with shooting 2 Subway restaurant employees. Atlanta police say that the shooter pulled the trigger because of too much mayonnaise on his sandwich.
Fulton County court records now show 36-year-old Melvin Williams is charged with murder, aggravated assault, and a gun charge. Fox 5's Eric Perry has been following this story for the last few days.
Yeah, Courtney, Tom, let's start with some good news that we can bring out of this chaotic situation. Family members of that 24-year-old recovering in the hospital say she is off of the ventilator and is talking. So that is the good news here. However, I've learned that the suspect in this case has a very lengthy criminal record here. He was actually out on bond on a separate incident, so that means he should not have had a gun in the first place. According to court records, Williams has a lengthy criminal history. We found 8 mugshots with Fulton County, and records show he was out on bond for charges of cruelty to children and aggravated assault at the time of the Subway shooting. That means he should not have had a gun. Griggs says Jada and Brittany Macon were close friends and roommates. She hopes this is a wake-up call to put the guns down.
I don't think that's going to happen, lady. You see your boy Kempton made that new law where, anybody can conceal a weapon. They don't even have to have a permit or license or something weird like that. So anybody out just run around here strapped and ready to do something retarded, as you see here with this guy. And I hate that, one of the ladies lost her life and then the other ladies in stable condition. They were best friends, roommates, all that. So that's very sad for them. Condolences to all the friends and family of the woman who passed away. But this is just a case of silly laws and loophole laws that the United States has. You got guys like this who should have been in prison or should have been in jail. He's got all these different charges, but for some reason, he's out here and he also has a gun. Why are we not checking these guys' mental? I don't know. But there definitely needs to be some psyche valves when it comes to these guns, especially when you got retards like him. I think situations like this show that a lot more people than we really think are mentally unstable and they just haven't had any professional help, because there's no way that I'm gonna be so angry about someone putting so much mayonnaise on my sandwich. Well, I guess I'd be mad about it, but I wouldn't be so angry to the point where I would open fire and take somebody's life about it. I think that is really stupid. I think this guy's an idiot. This guy has so many charges, and that means he had so many different chances to get his life on the right track, but he just kept on going back to jail, and then finally he did the worst thing that he could possibly do and take somebody's life. And I guess this would be a lesson, man. If you have a second chance, you need to come back harder, come back smarter in these streets, man. And you also need to check your emotions. You need to be thinking about situations, think about the consequences about this. Is this really worth me doing this? Like, what will I gain from this? What will I lose from this? Will I even feel good after doing this? You have to think about all that kind of stuff, man. So you just really got to check your emotions. I guess you got to get professional help or find an activity that, quells your spirit in a way, man, because this is unacceptable behavior by anybody, man. But let's go ahead and get into these 5 reasons why I think maybe you don't want to move to Atlanta. Let's get into it. These aren't in any particular order, but here's number 1. The traffic in Atlanta can get just downright pathetic, terrible. Turn a 8-minute drive into a 30-minute drive. Nobody here in Atlanta drives good. I think it's mostly transplants that cause those issues, but that's just my thoughts on it. Nobody puts their turn signal on. People will merge from all the way in the HOV lane all the way to the exit without putting a turn signal on. It causes wrecks, and that's why you get the traffic that you see in the picture. It should be a smooth transition to work every day, but you've got idiots in their little Hondas or their PPP loan Chargers that don't know how to drive because they've never had a car, or they just don't really value their car. You know, whenever you see somebody with a messed up car, you just automatically just have to think, man, this person's a little unhinged. They don't drive well. Their fender's messed up for a reason. Their door on the side is messed up for a reason. The back of their car is messed up for a reason. So yeah, that's my first reason, man. If you don't like traffic, Atlanta is probably not the place to be. And the driving here is, people here driving is terrible, man. Like, man, they drive so bad. I feel like I'm one of the best drivers in the whole world, to be honest. I'm probably one of the best drivers in the Southeast, at least. I drive slow and controlled. I get us there fast. I've never been in a wreck. The only wreck I've been in was because my sister was driving my car, and she doesn't have the same precaution that I have.
But you don't switch lanes.
I do switch lanes. Get out of here. You drive terrible. Angie
drive
drives
so
terrible.
good.
Angie drives so bad that no matter what or where we're going, even if we're going to one of her little Asian places that she likes to frequent, I want to drive because I don't feel comfortable.
You fell asleep, though, because it
Let's
was
get
so
it.
good.
The second reason I would say is a possible rise in crime. And I think, yeah, Atlanta's always had its fair share of crime. But lately, it just seems like it's gotten worse. I don't know if it's because I've been on social media following the pages that are constantly showing it, and the news is constantly showing it on YouTube or on whatever you watch it on. But it just seems like lately the crimes are getting more and more senseless. And don't get me wrong, every crime is pretty senseless. But it seems like it doesn't take much for these people to fly off the handle. Somebody took your parking spot. Open fire. Somebody took your seat in the movie theater. Open fire. Do you guys remember that story I did a while back? That actually happened. A guy took his seat in the movie theater and he opened fire on the guy. This situation right here. Mayonnaise. Open fire? Really? Come on, man. And then also I heard about another story. This lady traveled from Douglasville all the way to Wesley Chapel because somebody honked a horn at her and opened fire. Do you know how far that is? Just so you could come back and get some revenge on somebody and off them? Douglasville to Wesley Chapel. Look it up. It's pretty far distance. But yeah, I think this goes back to what I was saying about a lot of people being mentally unstable and they just haven't been diagnosed because they haven't had professional help, man. There's a lot of people out here in these streets that are they're just mentally off, man. Think about some of the crazy girls you might have dealt with or some of the crazy people that you know in your life that just, man, it's like you need some help, goddamn, but you ain't getting it. Like, I think that's the kind of situation, man. I also think I'm going to blame it again on the transplants. I think it's like folks coming in, like, you know, they might be coming in from some lame place like Arkansas or South Carolina. They want to prove that they hard because they moved to Atlanta. Or you got a guy moving from the outskirts like Douglasville or Conyers or somewhere in Henry County or something like that, and he wants to prove and test his might and be like, yeah, I came out of the mud. I came out of the mud out there in Alpharetta. I came out of the mud in Alpharetta, so I'm got to show you. But you ain't gonna pump me. One of the main towns that seem to be in the headlines all the time in Atlanta is Buckhead. If you follow any Atlanta news, you may have seen it. But Buckhead is not that great. I think that a lot of people that move to Buckhead are hood guys that never had anything, people from the outskirts that think they're rich now because they live in Buckhead, or people that are from out of town that's like, oh, I heard Lil Baby say something about Lennox, so now I want to live in Buckhead. So, you know, now you got all these different transplants and weirdos and retards living in Buckhead. You've got mostly apartments in Buckhead. You've got your well-to-do 9-to-5ers, entrepreneurs, but then you also have your scammers living there. You've got your dope dealers living there, and it can make for some interesting mix-ups. But yeah, us Atlanta natives, we kind of know that Buckhead is not all that great, man. You know, you move to some other area. I mean, even the surrounding area, if you want to move to like Metro Atlanta, you can. But yeah, Buckhead is not that great. It's not all it's cracked up to be. I like where I live at. Old Fort Ward is cool. Everything's gentrified anyway, man. So, yeah. The third reason is cost of living is going up. And you see the meme here. All y'all folks moving, stop moving here because you're causing the property value to skyrocket. You are. They're constantly building different apartments that nobody's going into. All the fields and parks that you might remember as a kid, or streets that you might remember being just a little bit more empty, are now full of the same kind of looking apartments. But yeah, man, I think that, everybody's been going through something in each state in the U.S. because your boy Biden been giving out the money. I think it's your boy Biden. I don't care what nobody say, man. He's just giving out money to everybody. But yeah, man, the cost of living in Atlanta is going up. You've got your apartments out here costing $1,600, $1,800 for a one-bedroom. And that's not even the worst of it. If you want to live in the city, that's what it costs. But then if you want to live in Metro Atlanta, which is the outskirts, you're probably going to still pay the same. You're living in Henry County, 45 minutes away, and you got a one-bedroom all the way out in the country, still costing you the same. Does that sound good to you? Nah, it don't sound good to me either, man. But, yeah, I don't know if the cost of living will ever go down, but let's keep going. None of these are in particular order, but I would say the fourth reason would be a rise in homelessness in Atlanta, man. In my 30 years here as an Atlanta native, I don't really remember seeing this many homeless people, man. It seems like you can find a homeless person in every single corner of Atlanta, and even on the outskirts in the suburbs, man. It's like places like Buckhead, just filled with the different kind of J's, homeless people. Of course, you've got your folks that are mentally unstable. That's probably why they can't get right. You got your folks that are on drugs and they're J's. And then you got the cost of living that, has a lot of folks just down bad out on their ass out here in these streets, man. As you can see right here, this is actually a real picture of an encampment that homeless people have here, right over here by Hill Street, man. You run down there. I used to see all these folks when I used to go on my runs at night. I used to be scared one of them might shank me with a needle and I'll get a heroin addiction from it. But that was a silly little scenario I had, but I think they actually kicked them out. And I know that there was a homeless shelter on Pine Street that they closed down, so it caused a bunch of homeless people to be displaced. I'm not sure if seeing homeless people is an issue for you. I know that they say, that there's some guy that's been running around. He's been like taking doo-doos in front of businesses and taking pees in front of businesses and walking around naked. So, I mean, that would be obviously an issue for somebody who's a business owner or somebody who just doesn't want to see that or just doesn't like homeless people because they're a snob or something like that. I don't know. But that's just one more reason, man. The homelessness seems to be kind of getting out of control here, man. It's starting to get like California. I hope it never does, but it looks like it's going that way. The final reason that I would say Atlanta may not be desirable to move to anymore would be it's overcrowded, man. It seems like everybody and their mama wants to live here, especially as a black person. You feel like there's opportunities and all that kind of stuff. So everybody's moving here, trying to get Hollywood roles, starting their little business up. It's like there's 5 different stores in Atlanta that everybody and their mama wants to go to on the weekend. So, you want to go to Piedmont Park, overcrowded. You want to go to the place that you like to get pancakes from in the morning, overcrowded. You want to go to this specific shoe store or this little place that, maybe they got a couple things you can't get online, overcrowded. Everything's overcrowded, man. Like I said earlier, man, there's a bunch of different apartments being built every single place. So it's like things are just starting to get jumbled up on top of each other. The traffic is horrible, obviously, because of the overcrowding. But, yeah, that's kind of maybe it's a petty reason to you. Maybe it's not, man. But, yeah, overcrowding is definitely a thing that Atlanta is looking like it is on the brink of. So here I've got a little separate list, honorable or dishonorable mentions. Some of these aren't dishonorable or honorable, man, but I'm just throwing them in there because some people actually do feel a way about these specific things, and maybe that will determine whether or not they want to move there. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. If you're still watching, let's go. The first honorable or dishonorable mention I'm going to have here is the dating scene in Atlanta, man. I think the dating scene is pretty similar to anywhere else in the U.S., man. Any big city or just any city in general, the women tend to go after the high-value men, and the men will bust anything that moves if they have the option to. But, I mean, everybody's not like that. I think dating is just kind of what you make it, man. It's obviously, it comes down to you know, the basics, man. The black pill, your looks. I think your charisma plays a part. I think, you know, maybe you need a little game, whatever, man. I think also it comes down to what kind of people are you choosing. If you're choosing the it girl with the 10K followers or more, or the dude that you know is messing around with all kind of girls, but you think he's going to change for you, then you're in for a rude awakening. I think, you know, you have to be a little bit smarter when you come down here. They also say that Atlanta has a pretty high HIV rate, so you might want to scrap up and be careful, man. I never really had any issues with the dating, man. Of course, I'm with Angie, but I think when it comes to dating, I don't think you should go after folks that's highly sought after unless you want to be sharing out, man, because everybody and their mama seem to be busting on each other here, man. But yeah, that's the first one. The next one isn't really anything to me, but this might be a determining factor for you if you want to move here, man. The LGBT population in Atlanta. Well, Atlanta is kind of a hub at this point for LGBT and pride and all that kind of stuff. So you're going to catch a lot of that around here. And if you're probably one of these folks that's of the phobic variety where, you know, you just can't stand a man or a woman trying their luck with you, then maybe it's not best that you move here. I used to have an issue with a man, you know, thinking that, you know, oh, I can talk to him or I can get his number or something like that, because I used to feel like, why would you think that I'm the one that you should pick? Do I look like that kind of guy to you? So, you know, I used to get mad, but now I just don't really care, man. It is what it is, man. As long as you keep your distance and all that kind of stuff, we are good, man. I don't have no issue with the LGBT folks. Like I said, man, I actually have a couple folks that I would consider good friends that are LGBT. But hey, man, you best keep it cute unless you want them fisticuffs. But yeah, man, that might be a determining factor for you, man. LGBT is a big thing, man, down here. You've got your folks that be running around here down low. You got your folks that be running around here out in the open, man. So yeah, just be mindful of that if you're gonna move here. So Atlanta is kind of becoming a new it place, and yeah, there are a lot of opportunities here, and that is of course gonna bring the clout chasers, man. You've got your folks that want to come here and get their acting career off the ground. You got your folks that want to come here, open up their little boutique business. You got your folks that already maybe are here or maybe from another little backwater hood place, and they want to take advantage of the PPP loans and scam and look like they got the money when they really aren't that type of guy. And those are the type of folks that's causing the issues in Buckhead and the you know, opening fire at the subway because of the mayo, because these folks really are not meant for this kind of situation. They need to go and stay where they at or get some help. But yeah, man, Atlanta is starting to become kind of a rat race place. It's starting to get a little bit more faster paced than it used to be back in the day. So if you plan on coming here and being like, oh yeah, it's country and I'm in the South, yeah, you're kind of gonna be in for a rude awakening again right there, man. So you might want to move to like Alabama or South Carolina or Mississippi or something like that, because yeah, it's only seems like it's going a little more faster and faster, and the opportunities and the businesses are being built. I think they're trying to, I don't know if they're still trying to do the Amazon hub here or whatnot, but yeah, man, Atlanta is definitely full of clout chasers. It shows in the dating scene, it shows in everything. So yeah, be mindful of that. And I've kind of already said this in so many different ways throughout this video, but Atlanta is kind of big, small, and it's kind of like you know, once you kind of made a name or made a reputation for yourself here, a lot of folks are going to know you, man. I run into so many people all the time that say hi to me or say what's up to me, and I don't even know who they are. Like this dude the other day in Whole Foods, like, what's up, man? What's going on, man? I did not know who he was. I just said what's up and acted like he was my best friend. But yeah, man, Atlanta's kind of small, big, so I guess that's kind of just like another little silly reason, man. Like the community is kind of small, man. It's like folks be sharing out, so the SESual escapades, you know, you might be sharing out in these streets, man. So be mindful of that. The people that you meet here at the gym, you might meet over here. Everybody wants to go to the same place. Yeah, man, that's just another little thing, man. But I hope you found this little video helpful. That is kind of the end of my rant on things or reasons why you shouldn't move to Atlanta, man. Of course, you see the beginning story, man. That was just something to start, and I think that guy's an idiot retard. Again, condolences to the family that lost the girl, and Hope the other woman recovers. But yeah, man, yeah, these are just a couple, 2-3 reasons why you don't want to move to Atlanta, man. Let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. Of course, if you watch to this point, man, thank you as always. And I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.